So your form is used for two things. One, to give you enough information back to make autonomous decisions without the client. Two, to push away a person who should not be our client, or sorry, our client's client. What's the search term for this? I have no idea. I kind of don't really care. You could have one impression and one click turn into a good lead, and then one impression, one click turn into a bad lead. What does that tell you? Nothing. You can't do anything. It's a one-time off, and that's 90% of where this happens. So you let your form do the work. Let's see. So what are some lead form best practices? Good, like cool. Yes, let's do it. All right, hop back in here. So this is going to give anybody that actually owns a business heart palpitations by asking them to do it this way. We purposely kept adding to this to the point where it actually now didn't really even make sense anymore. Our form is fairly large. It's very large. They can't even fill out the form if they don't know the width, height, and length of their building that they want to build. Like, that's pretty crazy. It's like, hey, I'm looking for a new car. What color? Doesn't matter what color. Oh, sorry, can't buy a new car. Like, that's what we're doing. Like, we're asking, like, what is the color of the car you want to buy? I think I like red. Oh, we don't have red. Bye. Like, it's that, we're getting that bottom of the funnel right now. And then even, how did you hear about us? Like, we're making sure this is actually where these people are coming from. That's why I was okay capturing breaks. Is like, I did an internet search. Like, it's pretty cool. Another one that I'm going to share with you all, this one here, the other company that we're running lead generation for, this is a quote request. Oh no, this is it. I'm sorry. It's V5. Do I have V5? Let me just grab it real quick. I don't know if I have it in this one here. No, I don't have to hop over in the Solutions 8 ads. Sorry, everyone. Give me one moment. Please hold.
Hey, John, while you're searching for it, maybe you can talk about the Solutions 8 form also, because we have one. So when somebody wants to become a client or request, some information, they have to fill out a form. And one of the questions in there is also, where do you hear from us? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep, that's a really good example. We'll go to that right after this one too.
And we don't have to block it out.
Hey, look at that. Perfect. Look at you. I'm not a content creator, so I forget these things. So thank you for that. Let me just get here we go. So this is our main form that we use for lead generation in this company here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 areas to complete. And the reason why this is important is because anybody know what this is? Select the SLAs you currently utilize: 24x7x4, 8x5 by NBD. I guess no big deal. Maybe, I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means either. Perfect. I don't know. Like, that's pretty much what I would type in. But what's nice is this stops spam. When we ran PMAX for them, we didn't get spammed on this form. We got spammed everywhere else. This form didn't get spammed. Now, we like inbound search better because we just have 2.5 years of consistency there, and wasn't really worth testing PMAX larger. But one example of a lead that we generated with this form is the United States Army. The United States Army was actually fill out this form, and they were the what's nice about this is after you go through this section, there's also like 3 other sections that you have to go through. And some examples of the leads that were coming in, what's nice about this is the more you can make it, not necessarily hard. We don't want to make it difficult. We want to make it difficult for the people who shouldn't be filling out the form. So you don't have to have 27,000 fields and be like, well, dang, like this didn't work. What we want to have is enough to push away. Sorry, that's a deal. PPC deal. Look at that one. Another deal in quoting. Close date is 2 days ago. Cool. Where's the lead on this one? I'm sorry, they have a. Let me just go in contacts. Sorry, went to the wrong area. Search. Original source is paid search. All right, Bart. Hi, Bart. So what I know here is this company is called this field here, I don't know if we can do this everywhere, but this field, if it's at a Gmail account, we'll ask them for a different email address. You cannot fill out this form on a Gmail account. It's kind of cool. So unless you have a business account, you can't fill out our form. That's okay. So we know his name is Bart, matches up to the email. What's Bart's job title? Well, he's the environmental solutions manager. Excellent. We have his last name. These not in order. And then what's the message required? Like, this is a message. I have 2 X-rated machines in Austin. Can you help recycle, dispose of these things? This company, right, that I'm marketing for inside of this client, it does a imaging, repair, and medical equipment services. So that's kind of the keywords that we're going after. So let's see what they searched. Fixed medical equipment. Perfect. So probably a wrong type of lead, but I can see exactly right off the bat, this person wasn't good. This is not the right type of lead that we're generating. I don't even need to talk to the client, but I know that this is in lead stage. They haven't started working with them yet because this lead probably just came in when this just come in yesterday. So this one probably will be moved to a disapproval, but all of this stuff has to be up to speed. And if it's not, I almost don't necessarily want to even work with the client, because right here, imagine all of the stuff you could do with this. Like, I know that I can call the client right now and be like, hey, Quest Resource Management, probably bad lead, right? Yep. What PPC agency would do that? Usually PPC agencies like, well, if you look at the CPA, it's low. And the client's like, yeah, but these leads are junk. Cool. Like, that's never a good solution. So your form is used for 2 things. 1, to give you enough information back to make autonomous decisions without the client. 2, to push away a person who should not be our client, or sorry, our client's client. No one's going to go through this outside of PMAX. Again, this is not talking about PMAX. PMAX is a whole other situation that we won't discuss today. Let's just talk about video and search and that kind of stuff. Let's talk about non-spammy channels here for a moment. When you have a real person with some intent filling out these forms, you want to put barriers to entry that are not impossible for them to get through, appropriate for them to get through, but appropriate for us to see autonomously if it's a good lead or not, and enough for us to make decisions, but also have our clients make decisions. There's a really good, today, this one, that wasn't pay search, was it? No, offline. Anyway, here we go. Let's just see. That was offline sources. Yeah, it removed my filter. Dang. That's back in here. Let's look at this one here, the Access Health. Closed, lost. Okay.
This is not a glitch. I'm interrupting the video you're watching because I need to remind you that I'm always looking for people to join our team. So if you're passionate about Google Ads and you want to work with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, please go to so8.com/apply. Speaking of working with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, if you're having trouble with Google Ads and you want professional help, that's what we do. You can go to so8.com, that's SOL8.com, to apply for your free, no obligation action plan. And if I've given you any level of value at all, maybe think about giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. That's how we juice the YouTube algorithm so they actually know that I know what I'm talking about. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or confessions, hit me below in the comments. And now, back to your regularly scheduled program.
So it looked like it went through, it wasn't a bad lead. It was actually quoted and then lost. So this is 12 days old. We cover 11 countries in the western slope of Colorado, and I'm needing a company to do a full inventory, maintenance, and calibration. Awesome. Perfect. Exactly what I want. Chief Operating Officer, Access Health System. Yes, we love preventative maintenance, and we do that perfectly. Now they lost the deal because they got outbid, but I love these. Now, where did this person come from? Fixed medical equipment. Same keyword that brought me the junk, same keyword that brings me the good. What's the search term for this? I have no idea. I kind of don't really care. A lot of times these are so inaccurate, not inaccurate, but so wide variety. You could have one impression of one click turn into a good lead, and then one impression, one click turn into a bad lead. What does that tell you? Nothing. You can't do anything. It's a one-time off, and that's 90% of where this happens. So let your form do the work. Your form is going to be what is going to be your saving grace. It is going to give you also a very defensible position to the client. I can go to the client and say, hey, you guys really screwed up Tina. How? And they're like, yeah, we did. Like, we overshot it, blah, 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 blah. I already know it's a good deal. I already know exactly what the person was looking for. I already know I did my job. And now I just get to poke the sales team and be like, hey, where did this fall off the crack? What now collectively as Solutions 8, what did we just do? We took the pressure and onus off of us. We put it on the client. The client's like, I'm sorry, John, you're delivering me awesome leads and we're just messing this up. The client will sometimes even apologize to me for doing all the hard work and them dropping the ball. So the people that pay us apologize to us. That's what your form can do. Now, imagine if it was this, Tina came over and Tina, you know, has Access Health System. Okay. What does that tell us? Nothing. I have no idea what's going on with that lead. Client can be like, yeah, John, Tina was she was trying to sell us an MRI machine. Can you give me a better quality lead, please? So it protects you. It offers you that level of autonomy. So your form, again, just to recap, it's enough for it to push away people that should not be filling out the form. It's enough to give you an indication that you're having some level of success, and you'll need to, you'll want to make your changes based off of that after they go through sales cycle. But 3, it also gives the onus off of you and then to your clients now that you get to then question them. I see I delivered you a good lead. What did you do? And now you're able to have a better conversation. It's more collaborative. Now don't go in there and be like, ha ha, ha, like and poke them and prod and be like, look what I'm doing, and you're all are terrible. But it's a good way for you to work collaboratively. You say, okay, step 1, deliver us quality leads. That's done. Step 2, now what? And you don't even have to go into that area, but it just leaves you that opportunity to come up and brainstorm ideas with the client. That's how important your form is. Any questions so far?
No, but we do have a comment from Saptak, and he says that SLA stands for Service Level Agreement, the turnaround time agreed upon initially. So there you go. Thank you, Saptak.
Hey, good job. Yeah, this client was looking for people that, and this is how hard this is, people that have a large amount of Cisco hardware that is now coming to end of life. Means that they are no longer, the Cisco company is no longer going to be servicing these products anymore, and they are left on their own. And sometimes these rooms are millions and millions of dollars, and Cisco's just like, well, can't send a repair tech out. That's now antiquated. And they're like, well, I'm not just going to go blow $5 million. Like, what do I do? This company says, hey, we'll take up from there. Like where they stop, we'll provide parts, service, and warranties for your. It's like it's an extended warranty only for a room rather than like your Ford. So yeah, inbound search has been difficult. So what keywords do those people search? that was a hard one. Any prerequisites for to go for this strategy like conversion history? Let me just make sure I understand that question. Sorry. Any prerequisites to go for this strategy like conversion history? What do you mean?
Yeah, I think Mehdi is asking if there are any prerequisites so this strategy works, for example, conversion history or something else.
No, what's interesting is this strategy works the best when you can whittle down your list of keywords. That's really where this works well. Now, conversion history, yes. However, this is a very dangerous game to play in if you have a client that has been running Google Ads for some time, let's say a year, but there has not been an investigation into lead quality or sales process. That will actually put you at a disadvantage if you try to make changes to the existing campaign. It's actually better to do 2 things. 1, build a new campaign, and 2, use a different conversion action, preferably a new one, so you're resetting the history of that account. When you come into an account where search terms look a little haywire, but the CPA is good and everything is looking okay, usually that means that there's something wrong, that the client's not happy and they're hiring us. So what this has to say is someone was running a campaign, they were getting leads, they were getting good leads inside of Google, good leads, good CPA, and the client said, well, these aren't closing. Bad strategy is to take that and try to turn that around. Broad is going to be a self-learning algorithm. So you're going to essentially just try to paint the ship that's sinking a different color. Like it's still sinking. You're not gonna fix that. What you have to do is kind of restart. But you want to restart with the mindset of, I'm only going to make changes when I see good or bad actual leads being generated that have sale data tied to it. And you can only really get that from the client. When I was on that conversation with that other company that sells the buildings, after I cranked this thing up, I still don't see conversions, but he's like, everyone knows the change. We're like, what did you guys do the last 10 days? This is awesome. Lead flow increased by 30%. I'm like, cool. I now know that it is working well. Google doesn't even need to see conversions. That's how scary this is. But it works well. And even maximize clicks using broad is working well. But again, I did track conversions for a year prior to this. I was tracking conversions in that campaign. That's actually a point that I did miss, so I apologize. Where was that campaign? Sorry, I said the name. Restart that. This company here, if we're, I'm not gonna, if we're gonna blur it. When you look at all time, this same campaign here, not the same campaign, actually, it was a different campaign. Or was it the same campaign? Yeah, no, I was tracking conversions. And I was tracking conversions in a different campaign that was cloned from this one. So this is actually still the same campaign. I was tracking conversions. It was just before their website rebuild this last year. So it stopped in September 2020. So I already knew that these worked. I just doubled down on it. But I still have 8 negative keywords since 2019. That part's true. 8 keywords since 2019. That is, that's against everyone's best practice. But I still made a 4,000 ROI, so I win.
Ankur dropped in the chat a screenshot. I don't know if you want to open it, John. He says that it's a great example of why should we use broad.
Ankur, what do you mean by this one? I see the screenshot here.
Yeah, so with broad match, you will also target keywords that you haven't planned for, like there in that screenshot. Okay, I can't see. Okay,
I got it.
So here, right? So dog allergy relief. Like if you are using phrase or exact, you will never show an ad to a person who is searching for "my dog has bumps all over his body itching," right?
I love that one. Yeah, I mean that's so you're saying that pure broad goes really top of funnel.
Yep.
And it captures kind of all areas in the funnel, which makes a lot of sense. That's a great example. It goes after questions, even goes after competitor search terms. Like I can see that broad match will sometimes pop open for competitor terms. But if Google thinks that person is going to convert, so it's like, should we run a competitor campaign? Oh no, I got that. Should we run top middle of the funnel? Got that too. Should we do keyword sculpting? No, that's not possible. Like it takes all of the standard optimizations out. But what's funny is the reason why this fails and people still hate it is because they try to apply SCAG to pure broad, which doesn't work. They try to negative keyword themselves into performance, which doesn't work. So all of like the value that an agency may place on themselves as to why they consider themselves good is taken away from broad. It clashes with their ego, and they're not willing to learn and leverage. They fight, and then they disparage. They say, oh yeah, well, if you want to just use broad and not make any optimization, I guess you do that. It's like, all right, well, what if it works better? So yeah, it's exactly right. The broad match will match the brand. It wasn't in this campaign, it was in a different campaign or a different account. And I'll share that with you all here. But the broad match will sometimes give a false positive. And if the client finds it, it's game over for us. But if we find it, it's good for